Do we have sound? We do. We have picture. Hello. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a good week. Um, I'm having a mad week, but I am glad to be here and glad to be crafting with you. Hey, Karen. Um, Hi to everyone who's watching live. Hi to everyone who's watching on Facebook. Hi to everyone on YouTube. Hi to everyone who's watching on catch up. I'm just really glad you're here. Um, Tonight I have a plan. I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. It's using some of the new goodies out of the Autumn Winter catalogue that I haven't used yet. And I have a vision in my head of what this could look like. And I just want to try and bring it to life. And you guys are my design council experts. You can give me some advice and tips and tricks along the way. And hopefully I'll be able to share some tips and tricks with you too. So let me flip round and get to the good stuff. Let's stick the lights on because that was the feedback from last week that we like lights. I've got my jumper on as well. It's starting to get colder now, isn't it? Definitely in the evenings. Okay, what we are going to be playing with tonight is the Snowy Delights bundle. So we have got the stamp set, we have got the dies, and actually I think there's 2 sheets worth of dies in here. Just pulling this out. Yeah, there are. So you've got this. So there's 1, 2, 3 dies on there. But then you've got this fabulous starry snowflake die on there as well. A nice little oval. And then this snowflake piece as well. But before we get onto the stamps and the dies, there's another part of this bundle which we're going to play with, and it's these. These are the stencils. Hey Jean, glad you're here. So this bundle, so you've got the stamps, you've got the dies, and you've got the stencils. Let me get something so you can properly see them. So you've got that shape there, which is stencil number 1. Then you have this shape here, which is different to the first one, shape 2. Then you have shape 3, and then last but not least, shape 4. So what we're going to try is using these stencils. I've got a variety of ink pads here that we're going to try, and I've got 3 different technique ideas that I want to give a shot. So I have cut, I've measured the size of these snowflakes, and it's probably, it's about 10 centimetres across if we're being really neat. Yeah, 10 centimetres or 4 inches. But because I want to have a little bit of extra space round about, I have cut my cardstock to 4.5 inches. And I'm just going to put these to one side. So I've used my grid paper and I've drawn pencil marks, don't know if you can see that, just at the corners where my cardstock is going to go. Because I want to do these in bulk. I want to do a few of these. Sorry, not sorry, Jean. This is going to be something you're going to have. I've drawn on my grid paper so that I know where to put my card, and I've cut a few pieces of these card out, or this piece of card out already. To get set up, I'm actually taking the card off completely, and I'm going to start with stencil number 1, which is the largest stencil, and I'm going to line it up on my grid paper in the center, like so. I'm going to position it straight. Now, because I want to do a few of these, by the way, this is the bit that I'm not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to try anyway. So I'm going to use washi tape to stick my stencil. You see, I want it to be slightly more central than that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but there you go. Put your washi tape onto the stencil first. Line up the center of your stencil with that central bit of the grid paper. And my stencil is there, but it flips up, because then my plan is to take stencil number 2 and put washi tape along the side of it Because let's face it, if you're doing Christmas cards, you're probably doing more than one, aren't you? Let's line up the center of this snowflake with my grid paper again. Let's stick down the washi tape and then let's fold that over to the side. And then let's take my third stencil. You can see where I'm going with this now, can you? Put the washi tape along that edge. Going to line up my snowflake with my grid paper down the center, stick the washi tape down and flip it over. Okay, so now I've got my workstation set up. The observant of you will be going, wait a minute, Emma, I thought you said there were 4 stencils, not 3. And you're right, there is a 4th one. But if I stick this down and flip it forward, it's going to be banging into the front of me every time I craft. So I'm going to do this one separately at the end. That's my plan, at least. So let's get my cardstock. This is just standard basic white cardstock. I'm going to put washi tape, just a tiny little bit of it up the top. My washi tape is quite old, but I'm just sticking it to my jumper before I stick it down because I don't want to run the risk of ripping the cardstock later. Might do it at the bottom as well, just to be great. And this first pass, I'm just going to use it in a standard way. So I'm just going to use the stencils as you would use stencils, and we're going to give it a go. So this one, I think I'm going to use my Fresh Freesia, my Highland Heather, and my Gorgeous Grape. And I'm going to start with my palest shade first. Okay, when you're using stencils and stuff like this, you want to start pale and get darker. Because if you start dark and get paler, then you're not going to be able to see stuff. So this one's kind of, yeah, that'll do. So let's pop my first stencil down in place. Got my blending brush. I'm going to pick up the ink from my ink pad, and I'm just going to blend this over with the stencil. Those of you who were at our retreat a couple of years ago when we used the Enduring Beauty stencils, you've maybe still got the blending brushes that we gave you as part of that retreat. Blending is a really effective and simple technique to use, but it can look really spectacular. Not trying to blow my own trumpet here. It's the products that make it good, not me. Let's just brush that all the way over, and then let's lift it up, and I've got my stenciled shape underneath. Lovely. We're off to a good start. Right, let's go in with some Highland Heather, and I'm going to put my second stencil over. I'm going to use the same blending brush. I'm being a rebel. And then let's add this purple shade. The other good thing about stencils is that they're really easy to clean. So I know I haven't cleaned any of them yet, but I will once I move the cardstock out from underneath. And I've got my chamois, which is the best way to clean off stencils. So, right, let's lift that one up, see how it looks. Oh, you see already this is quite pretty. Let's go in with the third stencil with my Gorgeous Grape. You can see how having the stencils on the washi tape at the sides would make it really easy to do this design in bulk. So it's all about making our lives easier. If you're doing 100 Christmas cards, you don't want to spend an hour on each one. Let's see. This is very much a trust the process kind of thing. Let's lift this off, see how that looks. Oh, you see, this looks really, really cute. I really like this. And then for the fourth one, this is the fourth one. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try something that could be a little bit different, but we're going to give it a go. And I'm going to try and emboss. So I'm going to use my silver embossing powder. I'm going to go over with my embossing buddy first, because I only want the embossing powder to stick where I want it. So I'm just going to brush that over first. The ink's already dry, so nothing's smearing. That's working quite well. Got the embossing buddy over there. Let's use my stencil to line this up. Now, I'm just kind of doing it by eye because I didn't line it up with the grid paper like I did the other one. But it's actually really easy to do because it's a snowflake. And so all the pieces are just staying where I want it to be. And now, although I'm going to stick this one down just with a wee bit of washi because I don't want it to move while I'm doing this. Let's stick it along the bottom. Okay, this is the bit I've never done before, okay? My Versamark ink pad going over the top of my stencil. The Versamark is very sticky. It's lifting up the stencil. So you need to make sure that you see how I'm holding it with my hand? I want to make sure that that's worked. Let's take that off. I'm going to take that off and put it completely to one side until I've cleaned it. Let's see how this has worked. I can see a little bit of the Versamark having come through. Do you know what? Not massively. That hasn't worked the way I wanted it to do. So I'm going to try it again. Okay. And this time, let's line up my... See, that's the thing. When you're crafting and experimenting, you're allowed to try something. And if it doesn't work, you're allowed to try it again. This time, you see, I got a brand new blending brush that's never been used. And I'm going to load it up with my Versamark. This time, has anybody here used Versamark on stencils? I don't even know if this is possible. This is what I'm saying. It's an experiment. Could go very well. Could go very badly. It certainly doesn't blend as easier as the others ones. The others ones? I've lost the ability to speak all English tonight. It's certainly stickier. Do you know what I might be better using? A dauber rather than a blending brush. Just looking to see how much of this has gone through. For the next one, I think I'll try with a dauber. But let's give this a go, because I think this might actually have worked this time. Let's pop it to one side. Let's peel off my washi. Yeah, there's definitely Versamark on it this time. Let's tip over my silver. And let's shake that off. Oh, yes. That has definitely worked. Right, let's put that over to one side carefully. Last thing I want to do is tip a whole tub of embossing powder on the floor. And let's go at it with a heat gun. I'll show this up to the camera. You know what? Rather than burning my fingers, let's use the heat-proof tongs that comes with the heat embossing kit. There we go. That works a lot better. Oh, yeah. This is so pretty. Can you see that? You see the silver highlights on it? Tapping rather than rubbing. Absolutely, Janice. I think a dauber would work really well on this as well, rather than the blending brush. But isn't that just stunning? I once heard somebody describe when you put heat embossing over the top of a card like this, it's like adding jewellery to your outfit. So you've all dressed up, you're ready to go to your party, you need a little bit of jewellery, a little bit of bling added to your outfit. But isn't that gorgeous? Love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, but I'm not finished. I told you I've got a couple of different experiments that I want to try tonight. That was one of them. Now we're going to try experiment number 2. Let me just put away this silver embossing powder. It bodes well that the first experiment worked. We now just need to wait and see to see if the second one will also work. So all right, let's put that down to one side, putting the lid back on. Before I go into the second one, I'm going to clean off my stencils because I'm going to do different things with them this time. I'm just using my chamois and making sure that I clean off the side that had the ink, because if you clean off the reverse of a stencil, it doesn't make any difference at all. Go on, ask me how I know. Oh, when we used the stencils at the retreat, we had so much fun and trying to get them clean afterwards. Look at how easy this is. They're still stuck to my grid. They're still in the right position, but just wiping over with your chamois. You could use a baby wipe if you wanted to, but just a really, really easy way of doing that. So, right, chamois off to one side. Next bit of cards, which I cut and prepared earlier, and I'm going to stick down in place. But Emma, that's Night of Navy cardstock. How are you going to stencil on dark cardstock? Well, let me show you. I just got this idea. I don't know where it came from. It came to me in a dream. I was looking through my new stuff that I got and I was like, how can I use this? How can I play with this? I'm now wondering where my other plain blending brush went. One moment, colours. There, I didn't bring it out. That was the problem. So this time we are going to use craft ink. Hey Julie, glad you're here. Now, craft ink is very sticky and very messy, and I am just going to get the tissues close to hand. My chamois is close to hand, but we're going to give this a try. All right, so I'm going to use my largest stencil first. The reasoning behind this, see if you look at the first one that we did, the large stencil provides a base for everything else. So all of the other stencils sit on top of that first background one. So I thought, what if the first background one was white on dark card? So we're going to load up our blending brush. Although again, I'm thinking we might need to go to the dauber effect, but let's try it with the blending brush and see what happens. Has anybody here used blending brushes with craft ink? Do you know what, ladies? This is actually working really quite well. Go on, tell me in the comments if you've got a craft ink pad for white ink, but you rarely use it because it is so sticky. I mean, you get beautiful effects with it, but it can take a while to dry and you can end up with white everywhere. I am really loading this on because I can see some areas where it is whiter than others. And because once I've done this, I want to use ink on top of it, I want to make sure that I've got really good coverage. Do you know, I was wondering about whether it should be a blending brush or a dauber, but the blending brush is actually working really, really beautifully. And I'm using my Night of Navy ink pad, Night of Navy cardstock. I do have a piece of Secret Sea, the new ink colour, Secret Sea. You could also do it in black, black, white and gold. Black and gold snowflakes, ladies. Once you start trying these different techniques, it just opens up possibilities. Possibilities. Right, I think that is fairly good coverage. I'm going to close over my white craft ink pad. I'm going to put that blending brush down to one side. Let's lift that off and let you see it. Look at that. Look at that, ladies. Huh, it's fabulous. I love it. I love it. Right. The next one I'm going to do, remember I said we go from light to dark. I think I'm going to do the balmy blue next. So let's get my blue blending blush, and put over my second stencil. Let's use, so balmy blue over the top of the basic white done first. Now, I know that the blue has gone on because I can definitely see it on the stencil. Let's lift that up and see what that looks like. Oh, ladies, look. This has worked beautifully. I am actually quite surprised. I'm very happy, but I am surprised. Right, so it was white, then it was balmy blue. The next shade I'm going to do is Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to go for the brighter blue, and then I'm going to do Night of Navy to finish. So I'm just rubbing this off to one side because it is picking up some of the craft ink. Oh, this is working really well, ladies. It's working really well. It's coming up so quickly as well. So quickly. Look at that. Do you know, to quote the very, very wise men from my youth, it's brilliant when a plan comes together. Now, this one was the one that I used my Versamark on. Actually, because you see, I was going to clean it off and do it with Night of Navy. I should do this with silver as well. Silver or gold? What do we think? Let's do this one with embossing again, just to stick with the embossing theme. And what colour do you reckon I should do? Silver or gold? Put it in the comments. By the time I've put it in place and used my embossing buddy, I should be able to get the right one out. I'm also going to get that dauber, aren't I? Let me get a dauber. Dauber, dauber, dauber. So let's stick this in place, lining it up. Don't be too precious about getting it absolutely identically perfect. These are snowflakes after all, and snowflakes are all unique and they're all different. So anybody that says to you, oh, you've done that bit wrong, you're allowed to take them off your Christmas card list. Silver, silver, silver. Yeah, okay. I have to say, I agree with you. I think silver and blue is just beautiful. Hey, Alison. Don't worry about being late. It's more of a miracle that I was on time for once. All right, we're playing with stencils. We're using a dauber this time. We used a blending brush the last time. I actually think the dauber is the way forward. Just picking up some of the Versamark that's round about. Let's just peel that off. See if that's worked. Just checking. Because it's on the navy, it's harder to see. Right, let's take it off and give it a go. Silver, the same as before. Let's peel that off. And silver. Ah, yeah. There's something magical about heat embossing. There just is. I mean, getting to see something just come to life like this. I think it's magical. Let me just put this up to the light. The heat-proof tweezers really do help. Stops you getting burning fingers. There we go. What do you think, everyone? So that's it on the Night of Navy base with white craft ink first, and then balmy blue, blueberry bushel, and silver heat embossing. So those are the two different ones, one with the purples and the silver, and one on the dark based card with the blues and the whites and the silvers. Which do you prefer? Do you like the light, the dark? I like them both. Right, I'm going to clean off my stencils, and then we're going to die cut these pieces, these snowflakes, and actually make a card with them. Because as gorgeous as the snowflakes are, if you don't then stick them on a card or a scrapbook page or anything, or make an, oh, you can make ornaments. Ornaments would be so pretty. Let's just clean off my stencils. Again, you can see these clean off really easily. Getting a beautiful picture on the bottom on my grid. We like them both, do we? Good. It's hard to choose a favourite sometimes. But yeah, so who had overlooked these stencils and is now rethinking them? They're one of these items where I saw it and I thought, what can I do? And then I just had this brainwave. I was like, oh, that's what I could do. And it's worked. It's worked really well. I'm really pleased with it. Right, let's get the dies and let's cut these out. The other thing which I wondered about doing with them is stamping over the top, but it's just the outline one. If they'd had a stamp that was one of the shapes, then perhaps stamping over the top and heat embossing that could have been pretty. But using the stencils, I think, is definitely the way to go. Right, let's cut these out. I'm just going to move this sheet off to one side because I'm going to make more of these. We're at that sort of stage where you know you're going to need lots of Christmas cards. You might as well get going on it. So once you've got a design, that's the trick, ladies, if you, and gents and other, once you've got a design that you like and you've worked out this is a nice card, don't stop there. Don't do just one. Do half a dozen, do 3 or 4 more, do extras, because the trickiest bit sometimes is trying to figure out what the design should be. And once you've worked that bit out, then just make a whole pile of them, because you're going to need, certainly for the Christmas ones, you're going to need more than one. Even for birthdays, you've got more than one person who has a birthday or get well soon. It's sometimes handy to have those on hand, just in case. I'm using my little offcut of washi tape just to stick my stencils down, stick my dies down to cut out my stenciled shape. They're really easy to line up. There we go. I've got the plan. I know what I'm going to do next. Right. Let's poke these out. These are so pretty. Do you know, I could almost do like a wreath or a garland with these, and I think that would be really nice. really fun. But for now, I'm just going to focus on the card. So, oops. Right. Let's get this, and I need some Night of Navy. So my snowflake piece was, these pieces that I did at the start were 4.5. My snowflake is just slightly larger than that. But let's see, if I do this to 5 inches, apologies for all the metric ones out there. Sometimes if I'm doing a square card, then inches make more sense to me than centimeters. Stick them back to back for a tree ornament. There's a good idea. This is why I love crafting online with other people, because you guys come up with brilliant ideas. It feels like a fair trade-off. If I'm sharing an idea and you're sharing an idea, then we're just all one big community of crafters, which is fabulous. Right. I put that on the front and have my snowflake on here. But one of my plans, let me show you. So now those who've watched me a lot will be like, Emma, you normally do round the edges and then a squiggle in the center. I'm not doing that this time. For good reason. Wait and see what I'm going to do. Even as I'm doing this, I realize a way that I could have done it differently, but I'm committed to it now. So let's just keep going with this. Let's run with this. Right. The snowflake outline comes in 2 sizes. You've got the small one and then you've got the large one. Have you worked out what I'm going to do? Let's center this and run it through. Always makes me feel like a pirate. Run it through, me hearties. Yo ho ho. Oops. Yeah, there's another tip. Center it while it's on your cut and emboss machine. Rather than centering it first, lifting it off and seeing it fall away. There you go, ladies and gents. I make the mistakes, so you don't have to. Let's push this through. I'm going to do it backwards and forwards because it's cutting through 2 pieces of cardstock, but that's fine. Just be careful peeling off my washi. Don't want to rip it. There we go. Suspended on a silver thread. Great minds. Great minds, Alison. So that is the plan. Now, what I should have done was not stick down the white first, because then I could suspend the silver thread and hide it underneath the white panel. But I am still going to suspend it. So let's get... Yep. Oh, now you see, these are gold. I'm sure we have silver ones. Anybody else remember? We got gold and silver twine in the recent autumn winter catalogue. Sure, there was silver twine. Oh well. For just now, I will use this silver. And this is what would be useful is if I had cut out a second, in fact, that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's cut out a second snowflake this size to sandwich at the back. Will it fit on there? Just and no more. I just think there's something really wintry and beautiful about snowflakes. I have a lot of snowflake sets. I think I've got all of the new ones from the current catalogue and online exclusives, and they're all beautiful and I love them all, and they're all different, which is fine. So let's put this on here, and then let's actually, I'm going to do this a bit longer than it needs to be. And then let's get some trusty tear tape. You probably could get away with Tombow or seal for this, but I just want to make it extra secure. So let's fold that in half to find the center. Center goes in the center of my snowflake. And now let's stick that down. The rest of it there we go. Let's peel off the bits of tear tape. Oh, right. See, there was something I was thinking of doing, and I can still do it. I'm just going to have to be slightly quicker than I was planning on being. So let's just put that to one side. And my snowflake piece here, if I get my stamp, let's see, which one? A Winter Wish for Snowy Delights. I think that's going to be the winner. Get a clear block. And let's do this in Night of Navy. Kind of match our cardstock. There we go. And now let's sandwich these snowflakes together. Now, the reason that I wanted to stamp it before I stuck it down is because trying to stamp on the piece with the ribbon down the centre would have been just a little uneven. So there we go. Right, let's now suspend this in place, and we're going to use just some of our Night of Navy. What's this? Let's see. Just going to cut a 1/2-inch strip. And I'm going to use, again, my tear tape along the back of it. Because now what I've done is just basically I've made Night of Navy tear tape. And then can peel that off the top and stick this down. So let's have it centered. Stick that down there like so. That worked quite well. Honestly, sometimes I surprise myself with these things. I have ideas in my head, and sometimes they work, and sometimes they really don't. And you would know because many of you have been here with me as we have had attempts and disasters and successes as well. And so I think tonight has been a success. Let's trim off the ribbon off the bottom, like so. And there's our card that's got this lovely moving piece in it. You could spin it all the way around. And then I probably want to have another layer on the inside. You see, looking at it now, I don't know if it needs that white or outer layer. I could just have left it navy. Might not put the navy, the white on the inside. I might just leave it navy like that. And then that's the bit that you write your message on. Dear friend, Merry Christmas, love, Emma. What do you think? Is that a Christmas card that you would like to receive? It's a Christmas card you think you could make yourself? We've had a lot of fun making these snowflakes with the stencils and the embossing. So yeah, I think that's been quite a successful evening tonight. I will turn the other one into a card as well of some description, but I think these are going to be the cards for the team swap that my team are doing at the moment. So if you're taking part in that, then you might receive one of these in the post. Right, so just jumping round back here to finish off with, let's kill the Blackpool Illuminations. I hope you've enjoyed this evening's crafting. Just for the reminder, that's the Snowy Delights bundle, the stamp set, the dies and the stencils was what I used this evening. If you've got any questions, as always, just drop them in the chat. I'm more than happy to help. And I hope you have enjoyed your evening. Take care, everyone. It's been lovely crafting with you. Good night.